Hello everyone, and welcome to Day One Update. This is AbleSir Thomas, and I'm here with the Auxi Klutch.
Hey guys, how you doing?
And today we have our first competitive map feature, and this is Colossus by Dunes. Now, Colossus is an asymmetric King of the Hill map set on the erosion canvas, and features a really cool design around this really epic central building. And it has a lot of emphasis on power positions, moving around the map, and controlling hills. And I think is a very refreshing take on King of the Hill. And it's really suited for 8v8 and 6v6 team sizes. Now, as we start taking a look at Red Base has quick man cannon access that allows it to be incredibly mobile, as well as a balcony that allows players to support each other. Blue Base is a little bit more nestled, a little bit more safe, with its spawn building being a lot more separated, and the Hog Bay being a lot more separated. But of course it has the high ground, so it does have some mobility, but it doesn't have any man cannon support. Now, the territories are really unique on this map, and Auxi, did you want to talk about your experiences with Alpha?
Yeah, Alpha is less of a spammy style of hill as what you get with most maps. So this one is more control different sections of the location, which is it's underneath the main structure here, which is the asymmetrical style of it really brings out the different second objectives that you need to cover with it, as well as the stairwell up here. Is some teammate just died up there, is now vulnerable to actually assisting us. But as you can tell, we're definitely being very wary from left and right side approaches, and he actually just brings a nice balance between the two of them. And the approaches to it is just not necessarily just go down there and spam yourself. You have to maybe take the upper areas, like I said, and different locations of the building to really assist you and your team. And so we move on to Echo. Able, you have your thoughts?
Yeah, Echo is similar in a sense to Alpha, that Echo itself is very vulnerable, but there are very powerful power positions just outside of it. So you have to hold the balconies, you have to be able to hold the main road and keep players from getting into that territory, because if they do, they can quickly nade you out of it because of its L shape. So you always have to be aware of your surroundings, and you really have to work with your teammates, and callouts are super important on this map. We've lost many a game, and as well as won many of a game based on teammates and teammates' reactions in certain hills. Not to mention, because of the game's nature of focusing on controlling power positions, the tide of the game can shift so quickly, because if a team gets in the right position, the right time, they can really do some damage. So as we look at Charlie, Charlie was one of my favorite hills. Auxi, what are your thoughts on Charlie?
Charlie, it's more of a not like send your whole team in there and control like one special little area and just switching back and forth. You have to just really control just the base, which is actually Charlie. And what you could notice on Echo, it was the same style. Red base had a nice overlook, and they had control over it. Well, in this case, this is blue base. You have to control that, and as a team, and maybe not send your whole group of team and just spam nades, because in the end you're just probably not going to get too much out of it. But as I said, power positions are just not mainly the territories, but the outside structures around it. And it can't even just be the base, it could be just the approach to it that you need to control, just to slow down enemies just enough to gain that or grind the few points that you need. So when we come to Bravo, the Dunes said that this was one of his favorite objectives. So Abel, what was your thoughts
really
about
is.
this?
It really is one of the more interesting objectives on the map. It's very asymmetric in nature. There's a lot of long sight lines as well as a lot of short sight lines on the objective, so you really have to be aware of your surroundings, and those power positions really do affect this objective in a big way. Not to mention, almost the entirety of the map's sandbox can affect this objective. The Hog, which runs around the map, can quickly take people out of the objective. It can clear the lower levels, support your teammates. Those bunkers on the far sides can really do some damage, as well as the man cannon that quickly allows players to get in and support the hill. But at the same time, that man cannon is really risky because it puts you in a bad position if players are controlling the opposing sight lines. So you really have to be aware. As you notice, Auxi here, he's jumping in and out of the hill. He's getting some points. He's being aware of his surroundings. He's trying to be on the move. Sure, a couple times he'll sit here with the sword and camp, but you got to be aware of your surroundings, or you're just gonna get naded.
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah. War changes everything, you know.
It does.
Yeah, it's map is just really hectic in nature just because of its really dynamic asymmetric design. It's just a lot of really cool firefights and a lot of variety in gameplay, because you know, some games players may not use a balcony, or they may just discover a new area of the map, and it's really interesting to see how that affects the overall gameplay.
So now that we come into a little bit of the building, you notice that there's a lot of pathing ways, and it's not more of just a structure that you can control, it's more of just a flow. What pretty much Dunes was going for here is he wanted more of a structure that, depending on where the hill was, you can control that and use this to your advantage. So you have to control just parts, not the full thing, and he really shows that with all the locations of the territories where they're placed, and you can notice which parts of the building that you need to control or defend in order to earn as many points for your team before the other team takes it back over, as well as the Warthog runs and stuff like that.
I think the building very much acts much more like a hub than an actual building. It more of a interconnects all the paths and all the areas of the map, and it's useful to control, but if you focus too much on controlling it, you'll find yourself separated and surrounded and in a really bad position. Unless you're sitting on A, then it's a pretty useful position, but only for a few seconds.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, the lighting was really interesting on this map. Auxi, Dunes was saying he was one object away from breaking lighting on this map?
Yeah, he's one object before breaking. He said he had to keep switching out objects and everything like that. Even though the lighting looks broken here, it's just mainly that it's on top of the big, what is it, Griffball core on top of it.
Yeah,
to
the
give it
Colossus.
more space, more flooring, and it does a really good job overall with the whole design. You don't really see much things here, and glad to see this one.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun to play, and it was a lot of fun iterations. But guys, thanks for watching. This is AbleSir Thomas here with Auxi Klutch at DayOneUpdate. Be sure to check out our previous videos. We had some fun on Alpha Squad, and you guys have a good one.